gamers all around the world. Today, we're gonna do all civilization landmark tier list, baby. That's right. Best to worst, worst to best, mediocre. But this is my opinion, alright? Your opinion might be different. That's fine. This is my opinion. I play all 8 civs, so this is my perspective of the game. Which landmarks are good, which are OP, and which just suck. I don't think I'm gonna go from like best to worst, worst to best. I'm just gonna, when I see some, I'm just gonna throw it in there, alright? So let's start with, without a doubt, the worst landmark in the game. Actually, I don't know what the worst landmark in the game is. We're gonna start with the Golden Gate for Rus. The Golden Gate, this is one of the best landmarks in the game. It allows you for so much trading resources. You can tech up like this. You can be 0 gold and then suddenly you're 1,000 gold. And the best part about this is it infinitely scales, which means even if you're in age 4, you will still be able to get value out of this and get, like, you'll be able to buy stone, which is very hard to do in the late game, or get gold for a very, very good price. And the Golden Gate is just very nice. Very, very nice. And this is going to be hard. Abbey of Kings. Ugh. Ugh. Abbey of Kings. I'm going to give it a C, actually. It has some use. By the way, D tier is like, it just sucks. Like, just... Abbey of Kings, I've built it myself. It does suck, but it has been used and it has seen some play. That's my defense for it and kind of explanation behind it. Now I'm looking for a French landmark right here. Give me a second. Actually, no, Abbey of Kings sucks. I'm just going to put a D tier. Kremlin, I'm going to put it in C tier, actually. Like, I can't put Kremlin and Abbey in the same thing. Kremlin is a bit more useful. I've actually done some all-ins with Proxy Kremlin, kind of like Barbican by Kremlin. Also used Kremlin versus Delhi players to place Kremlin on the sacred side. So it has some uses. There was some experimentation. It's definitely better than Abbey of Kings, but you're probably going to see them equal amounts in the game. It's just not very good, and maybe if they buff the wood bonus like 30%, maybe it would be good, but other than that, it kind of sucks, to be honest. Where are age 1 landmarks? Am I blind? Is there no... Oh, it says French... Oh, right. I've been looking for number 1 because I'm stupid. Alright, next one. We are going to go into the best landmark. Psych, it sucks. Okay, Chamber of Commerce is the French trade landmark. It sucks. Also, it's bugged. So it's not only that it sucks, but it also is bugged, and it actually doesn't give you the bonus gold that it's supposed to give you. So, yeah, it's not very good. Let's see. Let's go with... By the way, I am comparing, just to give you guys a perspective, right? I'm going to be comparing landmarks based on their based on the same age landmarks. So I'm comparing Chamber of Commerce versus Abbey of Kings versus Kremlin versus Golden Gate. Okay, so I'm not comparing it to like age 4 landmarks. Next one, Aachen Chapel. 100% S tier. It's so good. It's one of the best landmarks. And you're going to see a lot of age 3 landmarks at the top. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's amazing. It's insane. I love it. Barbican of the Sun. Let me skip that one for now. I might adjust some landmarks here and there, but yeah. Council Hall. You know, before I would put this as an S tier, as like a super good landmark and yada yada and so on and so forth. But honestly, English has gone through a lot of like, you know, changes. It's not played so aggressive, so I'm going to have to give it an A tier. It's still a good landmark. You can create longbows out of it, which is very nice. So, very nice. Next one we're going to be looking is School of Cavalry. I'm just gonna put it next to Council Hall. They work the same way. You basically get a free production building and you can pump out units. English one has longbowmen, French one has faster production on cavalry. So overall, very nice. Next one, Tower of Victory, Omega Lul, more like. You know, I want to try, by the way, and this is something you guys need to remind me for tomorrow. I want to try Delhi 2TC Tower of Victory, but the way currently Delhi is played is with a lot of scholars getting the relics, getting sacred sites. So you kind of need scholars to do that, and you always want to go for the other landmark, which I'm trying to find where it is right now while I'm talking to buy time for the stream. I still can't find it. I don't see it. I don't see it still. It's literally the only landmark I can't find. Oh, there it is, right there. Dome of the Faith. I'm just gonna put it A tier as well. I think this is it A tier? It is an A tier, because you can't go without it. It's really good, and it kind of fits into this whole, like, it gives you a production building. They're alphabetical. I'll permaban Recon in the chat. But yeah, I think it's just good. Is it OP? Is it average? No, it's a pretty good landmark. Deer Stones for Mongols. I would definitely say it's an S tier. It does boost your economy by quite a lot, to be honest. And I personally like it. Now, there is a chance that it is an A tier now, because recently Yem Network got a nerf. So it's not as good, but compared to the other landmarks, compared to the other Mongol landmarks, I still think Deerstones is better, just because it gives you a straight up boost to your economy. You can move it, you can reposition it, and also all your towers get the upgrade. So I think it's pretty good. The next one we'll be talking about is the Barbican. Oh, Barbican. Well, let's keep it here for now. Which one do we have left? Abbasid House of Wisdom. See, this one's weird. Like, how do I rate this one? House of Wisdom. I mean, I don't know how to rate House of Wisdom. Do I rate it by... Okay, I'll just rate it based on the first wing upgrades, which is making workers cheaper. I mean, I would probably put that in as an S tier. I think that's really good bonus, making your villagers cheaper. And maybe I can reposition it for Castle and then Imperial. I don't know. I guess I'll just rate different wings. I think Economy Wing is definitely an S. All the upgrades in Economy Wing are really, really good, so... yeah. Next one we will be discussing is the Silver Tree. Now, Silver Tree has its place in the game. I do think Mongol trade boom is viable, is possible, but it does require a certain spawn, a certain map in order to make work, and a certain matchup. And that's a lot of ifs, how, when. So that's not something you want to be relying on when you're playing. So it can be super good, but, you know, not quite. Not quite. And then we got Imperial Academy and BBQ of the Sun. I'm not missing any else, right? No, I don't think I am. Imperial Academy, I mean, I would probably put it with the Silver Tree. Like, it's okay. You know, you build it because you need to get to Song Dynasty, but is it... like, it's kind of like Kremlin. Like, would you ever build this if you're going for... oh yeah, mine work, right? The worst, yeah. Imperial Academy, I'm probably going to put it... I don't know. I'll probably put it D tier, to be honest. Like, on its own, what it does is it boosts the gold income from the taxes, or the gold amount that's stacked in the buildings, and it's a drop-off. That's it. So for that, it sucks. I can't put it next to Kremlin. Like, Kremlin just sucks, right? So I'm going to put it into a B tier. With that being said, I can't. This is why I wanted to wait with the Barbican. I can't put Barbican out next to Imperial, because I think Barbican is actually a pretty good landmark. It's a defensive tower. It's a tower, right? It doesn't do much else, but it can block so much of the map, and that's the main issue of Chinese Civ. So even though it's not really impressive and it falls off quickly, I do think it gives you a lot of a variety in the early game, and if you place it in a certain resource, it's completely blocked off for any attacks, at least for a little while. So I like Barbican. I think it's a good landmark. And yeah. And the last one that we had is a Mine Twerk Palace. I'm trying to find it. I am blind. Oh, right here. I'm just gonna put it B tier. Like, obviously it's not unusable. Some people are using it. I personally think it sucks compared to Chapel. Is it as bad as Kremlin, Abbey of Kings, or one of these two? No, it's not. It's not that bad, right? But it sucks. Why would you ever go Kremlin over Golden Gate? Well, you wouldn't. So yeah, this is the Age 2 Civ or landmark tier list. Let's move on to the Age 3 landmarks. Oof, this is gonna be a hard now, because I feel like Age 3 landmarks most of them are really, really good. I'm just gonna start with Clock Tower. I would say it's one of the best landmarks in the game. It's what makes China good, and it's just a really, really strong landmark. It boosts your siege health by quite a lot. I love it. Everyone loves it, and it's very nice. Which leads me to probably the worst castle landmark in the game. This landmark sucks. I have never made this landmark in castle over the second landmark. It sucks. It sucks. And that landmark is Imperial Palace. It is awful. It sucks. The only thing this landmark gives, by the way, is like a vision, like 2 towers, and you can click it and then it reveals where enemy villagers are. Great for like 4v4s or free-for-alls, right? Sucks for 1-on-1. Like, you know where the opponent's villagers are if you're in castle. Like, it's not like they're in the corners of the map. So I think it just sucks. You're never gonna build this over Astronomical Clock Tower. Ever. Ever. Kremlin is D tier. I mean, possibly. Maybe like this. Maybe like this. I like this, actually. But yeah, it sucks. I don't know what to say. Next. Ooh, this is a difficult one. I'm gonna go with the next landmark. I'm gonna have to put him like this. Next landmark is King's Palace. This is a very mediocre landmark. Very, very mediocre landmark. You're paying 1.8k resources for a town center. It's not good, right? But it is built. It still does boost your economy, and at the end of the day, it's better than these IMO. Maybe Mongol. No, it's still here. So yeah, I think it's pretty average. It's not that great, and it kind of sucks. The White Tower, in terms of how good it is, I would probably put it same. No, I'm going to put it in C tier. White Tower is like, you never see it at a high level. The only time you build White Tower is if you like all in and did so much damage, but you lost units, so the enemy is counterattacking, and the only thing you got to do is survive. That is the only time you're ever going to build White Tower. It's not good. Like, it's just not that great, right? Man, now I'm thinking about changing the thing again. This is very hard. I'm gonna go like this. I like this. Okay, I like this. I'm staying with this. I think. But yeah, it's basically a keep, right? But you would rather have more economy. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can technically go King of the Hill, but honestly, it's probably better to go King's Palace into a keep, instead of just putting down White Tower in the middle. Next one. Kurultai. I'm gonna put it C tier. I don't know if you guys even know what this landmark does. It increases the damage of your units by, I think, 25% if your Khan is nearby. And this works on Siege as well. Now, this landmark, I have played it. And this landmark works with Silver Tree. If you go Silver Tree, you'll have plenty of gold. And then you go Kurultai, and because you don't need the step readout, right? Because you have plenty of gold. And you can fight with that. So on some maps where there's like a choke point, like Mongolian Heights, if you're doing a trade boom, this landmark isn't that bad because your siege gets huge buff. Yeah, it also heals. So it's not terrible, but you're never going to go this in a normal game of like Dry Arabia or something like that. Because the circle of the healing and the buff is too small. Maybe if they buffed it or something, it would be really, really good. But, you know, it is what it is. Step readout, S tier. I mean, it's an insane landmark. It gives you 50% more gold when you drop off. Yummy. What's not to like? It's insane, and it's one of the best landmarks in the game. So, yeah. Regnitz Cathedral. Ooh. Regnitz Cathedral. This is a hard one. Regnitz with 3 relics is definitely an S tier, but with only 2 relics inside? I don't know. I'm gonna have to move Deer Stones, actually. I can't have Deer Stone. Like, Deer Stones are nowhere as good as this one. What do you got? I'm not sure. It can only hold 2 relics. I'm gonna have to put it A tier. I think Regnitz is really good, but it's not like absolutely insane as it used to be. And I would say S tier landmarks are landmarks you will go almost always. Like 90% of the time you're gonna go that landmark. I would say that's S tier. Part of the, you know, it needing to be an S tier. So I think Regnitz Cathedral is really good. But is it as good as Step Readout? I don't know. Also, HRE is not really a civ that uses batshit amounts of gold. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll put it there. Burger Palace. Burger Palace, I'm going to put it in B tier. It used to be completely useless, but, you know, with the patches, with the meta changing, Burger Palace has actually become quite a decent option, where if you're playing HRE and you're getting all in, if you get a Burger Palace, you can print out as many units as you want and quickly be able to repel your opponent. So, I think it's pretty good. It's situational, right? But it has its place in the game. Now let's talk about House of Wisdom. So I'm just gonna assume that H3 you go Culture Wing. Culture Wing, I mean, Culture Wing, what upgrades does it have? Cheaper research, keep healing, and what else? What else does it have? There's another upgrade. Imam single conversion. Okay, yeah, it's Culture Wing for like Abbasid is, in my opinion, B tier. It's like the biggest one is having your upgrades cheaper, right? But its efficiency kind of drops off, and its other upgrades are kind of ass, right? If you compare Economic Wing, all 3 upgrades, the first one is making villagers cheaper, second one is farms being better, and then the third one is 8% more resources drop off. This one only really has cheaper upgrades, and that's it. So, yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Next one is the Royal Institute. I'm gonna put it at B tier. I think Royal Institute is like Burger Palace. You will probably go Guildhall overall, but there are some situations where, depending on the matchup and how the game went, where you can go Royal Institute and just all in off of just pure Knight with that extra health and just completely smash your opponent. But it's not something you're gonna go every game, right? Next one is Guildhall. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put Guildhall in A tier. I don't think it's OP. Obviously, it's very, very good, but it does take a while to kick in, which is its downside. But it's a very good landmark. It's kind of like a Golden Gate in a way, because it gives you just infinite amount of resources over time. So yeah, I would say 75, maybe 80% to 20% in which one you're going to build. So yeah. Next one, House of Learning. House of Learning. Ugh. House of Learning kind of sucks, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of House of Learning. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put both Delhi landmarks in B tier. The reason for that is House of Learning, the main upgrades, right? The main upgrade in House of Learning is giving your men-at-arms and giving your lancers the damage upgrade. The problem is, by the time that kicks in, that part of the game is irrelevant, and your main army comp with Delhi is elephants anyway. It's kind of meh, right? And then once you get those upgrades, it's done, right? This is what I was talking about. Like landmarks like Regnitz and Guildhall and Deerstones, they have infinite value. But this one, you get the upgrades, you're not going to mass, you know, men-at-arm and lancers at like 40 minutes as Delhi. So I just don't think it's great. Compound of the Defender used to be like S tier when stone towers were not banned in tournaments. Because you could basically wall off sacred sites with your units with stone walls, and then you could put stone towers. But stone towers are banned in tournaments, so the value of Compound of the Defender is much lower. Although it does decrease the stone cost of buildings. I think it's by 20-25%. So a keep is 600 stone. And then the walls are also cheaper. So that's nice. But again, how many walls can you make, right? It has a limit in its value. And I think it's okay. It's not a bad landmark. But I don't think it's as good as some of these other landmarks, to be honest. Like, again, Barbican is more useless than these two, but Barbican for Age 2 is very, very good. So that's how you guys should look at it. Are they banned or just banned in Age 2? I'm pretty sure they're just banned. Like, no one's making them. It makes the Wonder cheaper. It should be S tier. Well, if you win a pro game with a Wonder with Delhi, you should just be awarded a tournament win. We got High Trade from Rus. High Trade from Rus, I think it's a pretty good landmark. I would definitely say High Trade is better than these two. The only reason why this landmark isn't built more is because its other landmark is an S tier landmark, in my opinion. And that's why you don't see High Trade so much. But High Trade, in my opinion, is really, really good. It allows you something very unique, which is to hit 500 bounty, even if you don't have enough animals on the map. It's infinite food, basically. And depending on the map, like King of the Hill is one of the maps where you can get such a fat trade, high trade house, and you can get gold equal to like 2 to 5 relics with high trade house. You just plant it, and you have like 300 gold per minute, which is 3 relics, right? So technically, in theory, this landmark should be better than Abbey, but on many maps, like including Dry Arabia, it's very hard to get a juicy high trade house. But on like Highview and stuff, it is possible to get like 300 gold per minute in real games, right, in competitive games, and that's already having 3 relics. And then you can just build a monastery and get 5 relics, so you can basically have 8 relics worth of stuff, even though you haven't built monastery. Or Abbey of the Trinity. And Abbey of the Trinity is more playable or played because it gives you it's easier to just plant them next to your TC, right? You don't have to go somewhere out there to build it. It gives you cheaper monks, and I think it's just more used because it's usable on every map. And most of the time you can steal relics with Rus from other civs, while High Trade House, it's a little bit slower. So, yeah. Alright, Age 4 landmarks. I think we have cleared all Age 3 landmarks. Let's start with the, where is it? House of Wisdom. I mean, I'm just gonna put House of Wisdom military tier. I'm gonna put it S, and I'm also going to put the trade wing at A tier, right? The trade wing thing is really, really good, but it's also very, very situational. But the House of Wisdom military wing gives you 15% health on your infantry, and camels give you +2 armor on your units, which is just very, very good. Like 15% health on your infantry is batshit insane. So yeah, it's just a very good upgrade, and the only reason why you get it so late is because you don't have enough units in field to justify going for, you know, the landmark. All right, let's get started. Oof, how do we rate these? I'm gonna go with this one. It caught my eye. Wingard Palace is an S tier easy. It is one of the most cost-efficient landmarks in terms of its longevity. If you guys don't know, I think you pay, I'm probably off on this, you pay like 100 food, 200 stone, 200 gold. And then you get man-at-arm, spearman, longbow, knight, and a trebuchet. 100 food, 100 wood, 200 gold. 100 wood, okay, it's either 100 wood or 200 wood, and then 100 gold or 200 gold. But people are saying it's 4 times cheaper than making those units. And in the English late game, you want to go for a lot of trebs, so this is just 6 value. I think it's really good, so yeah, it's a great landmark. Let's go on to the next one. The printer, S tier easily. Easily, without a doubt. There's no question in my mind that it's just an insane landmark. Actually, I'm gonna have to, military House of Wisdom is gonna go to A tier. Palace of Swabia is personally my favorite landmark. It's just insane. Like, it boosts your economy so much that it's batshit crazy. Elsbach Palace. I'm gonna put it right here. It's very situational. The only time you would ever go for it is if you open 2 TCHRE and then you have so many workers, by the time you go to H4, you don't need Palace of Swabia. Then this gets really good value, but most of the time it's trash. College of Artillery. I'm gonna put it at A tier. I don't know if you guys know this or if you're aware, but French cannot make culverins at all unless you build this landmark, and then you can build culverins out of it. So this is something that's very nice and kind of empowers French Civ quite a bit. So I do think it's quite good on split maps. I would say Red Palace. Oh, this is a hard one. I don't know if it's an A or B. Red Palace is by far the best static defense building in the game, but it's very situational. I think honestly these two you can go for either, and Red Palace does so much damage. Holy shit, he does so much damage. I feel like it's B tier just because it's a keep, right? At the end of the day, it is just a keep. And if it dies, it's Monka S, but College Artillery can give you more value over time. So, yeah. Next one. This landmark just sucks. So this is the landmark, if you guys don't know. It's a landmark that produces like cavalry units every minute and a half. If you could choose which units you want to produce, that would be maybe a decent landmark. But it can produce horsemen, Mangudai, or lancers. So if it was producing lancers all the time, it'd be pretty decent. But it can produce horsemen. And then it's like, oh, it's an H4 landmark, take W. So, yeah, I would say it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The White Stupa. I personally think White Stupa is really, really good. I don't know. I would probably put it here. White Stupa gives you so much stone. I feel like Mongol starts off with a lot of stone, and then in Castle there's like a stone drought. But then when you build White Stupa, you get so much stone, you can start upgrading all different upgrades and just kind of pick up where you left over and get all those bonus upgrades and stuff. Is it an S tier? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think it's as good as these two. These two are way better in my opinion. This is another thing with this landmark is it's really good, but it takes a while to pay off. And it also requires a lot of micromanagement. Like these two for me are a lot better. Spasskaya Tower. Extremely situational. Extremely. Like, this is Rus' 4th landmark, which you never see. It's basically a keep with bombard emplacement put on. I don't even know when you would make this, to be honest. Like, I genuinely don't know. High Armory from Rus. This used to be, like, busted as hell. This used to be an S tier easy kind of thing. But now, I'll probably still have to say, like, A tier. It's okay, and the upgrade, I don't even know if it's, I would still say it's an A tier. It gives your Mangonels and Trebuchet no deployment time. It gives you a bit tiny extra range with Springolds, Bombers reload time, but pretty good, but not quite insane as it used to be. Which one is the food one? Hisar Academy or Palace of the Sultan? I actually don't know. I would assume Palace of the Sultan is the food one. Wait, Hisar is the food one? Okay, this landmark sucks. It's bugged, it sucks, and it basically gives you food income based on how many researches you have done. Food is no civs issue ever. Like, this landmark sucks. So, yeah. Palace of the Sultan. For those that don't know, you can put 4 scholars inside, and then it produces an elephant every minute and a half. So I would say it's a B tier. Not that great. It's, I mean, I can't put it here because you gotta build it, right? You're not gonna build this, or you're gonna build this at least. It gives you an elephant every 2 minutes. Okay, if it's every 2 minutes, then we drop it down. It sucks. Delhi landmarks in general suck, in my opinion. Spirit Way is a really good landmark. I'm gonna put it here, A tier. Maybe it's even an S tier, but I'm gonna put it A tier. It allows you to make grenadiers cheaper, which is really good. But that's all it does, right? Obviously, it enables you to get grenadiers, but I can't rate it based off of that. I'm just saying, like, for the value, if you place buildings around it, you make them cheaper. And the Great Wall Gatehouse of China. Honestly, this landmark is insane. I actually think it's an S tier landmark. For those that don't know, this boosts your wall HP by absurd amount. I don't know. Does anyone know what's the HP of Chinese wall with the building upgrade and this? It's like, it's absurdly high. It's insanely high. 7,000. Is it 9,000 or 7,000? 9,100, someone said. Like, that's a wall. Like, one wall is 9,000 health. It's insane for late game. Absolutely insane. So, I'm going to have to rate it S tier. And I know this might come as a surprise to some people, because it's kind of looked as useless. But, because it's a gate, right? This landmark. But the buff that it gives is batshit insane. So, yeah. Also, people are mentioning this is missing Berkshire Palace, which you guys are right. So let's take the White Stupa. We'll just pretend this, not the White Stupa. We'll take White Tower and pretend this is Berkshire. I would probably put Berkshire like here together with Red Palace. It's not good. I just think that Wingard, unless a Wingard Palace is always a choice, unless you're winning so bad but you just gotta survive, I would say Wingard is just always better. So that's what I think. Either way, again, I tried to compare the landmarks in their age, not so much overall. And I do think that these landmarks are the absolute most Chad landmarks in the game. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what you think. And thank you for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, let's keep going.